Where is James Middle headed? He is really heading toward his dreams, toward fulfillment, toward self-realization. That's how I would answer this question from a third-person perspective. Somewhere subconsciously, I've been doing this for as long as I can remember, since about the 7th, 6th year of my life, when there really was some idea for myself, and unfortunately I paid a high price for trying practically everything, including the fact that I even tried recording songs, writing lyrics, diaries, books. I produce tights, stockings, I have a gardening company, a renovation business. I also tried to take my brands abroad, to neighboring countries, whether with the language school or with the clothing brand. Where am I heading? Honestly, I don't know, but I think I'm heading toward building a better version of myself, to testing where my limits are. Limits I want to cross more and more boldly, while having more inner peace for my own good and for the good of my loved ones. But for sure, the idea is to turn what's in my head into real life. To live as long as possible, to live as interestingly as possible. To travel the world, to meet diverse people, to truly get to know myself, to show my kids that anything is possible, and to make the absolute most out of this beautiful life. If you can. When I started out on social media in Poland, I never expected that it would make any kind of impact at all. I thought I would record 2, 3, maybe 4 videos as a keepsake, and that would be it. And that's exactly how it was. For the first few months, I thought it would turn out just like my failed singing career, because I tried 4 times and it never worked out. So I talked about my philosophy of life, what I wrote in my diaries, and the thoughts I have. After half a year, it exploded. Tens of thousands of people appeared and started following this profile. Then there were live meetings, consultations, events, both smaller and larger ones. About 1 billion views at this point. That's quite a lot for our country, for such a boring field of life, so I don't know what will happen. Maybe it will be a cool adventure. We'll record a few lessons, a few dozen lectures. Someone from this part of the world will simply share how things are done here, what our mentality is like. For some it might be funny, for others, interesting. However, I believe that just as I connected the world of medium-sized business in my country, we will be able to do the same today. Connect these dots on a global scale. And I believe that this idea will break through somewhere. And first of all, I'll simply offer someone a virtual hand, acting as a real person who is saying, man, I have definitely been exactly where you are right now. Or perhaps, girl, I can simply help guide you onto the right path for your future. I think that these problems, whatever they may be, whether psychological issues in your mind, or business problems that stem from them, or financial ones, can be solved. Just as you can regain some physical health or strength, you can also get yourself on the right track intellectually or mentally, as long as you are surrounded by the right people. I would really like to build and expand that environment and go beyond it. These territorial boundaries, which we have also been artificially taught, up to the river, it's one group of people, and across the river, it's another. And beyond the mountains, for example, there are the Spanish, and across the mountains, the Portuguese, and then there's Africa, which is a different world, and after that, South America. Well, I think what is beautifully visible in sports is that we are simply equal. The same will be true today, in business, on the internet, or in investments. What is happening at this moment? After all, we are globalizing, and I would like to be a part of this game. I would like to have my own say in the discussion. I don't have a drive to become famous, but I do have a drive for these thoughts. The ones that I have cultivated here so that they can continue to grow. I think so. What can be done today thanks to algorithms in online communities, meaning being able to pair up according to various criteria, is probably the most important thing, but the people you meet in real life, those brothers, twins from the other end of the country, or God willing from around the world, that's fantastic. So I'm in favor of offline, and I also think that I organized about 150 live events with my people, showing that it can be done, that you can meet up. I know that this industry works, I know that this industry is doing well, I know that we want to meet people who are on the same wavelength. So it will be a huge dream of mine if we organize an international event, maybe someday, but perhaps under my brand we'll manage to bring these people together. And I believe that over these first few years, the path we want to follow will crystallize, because that also changes a lot year by year. It's not like it was, I don't know, 50 or 100 years ago when you wrote a book and it only really saw the light of day long after you had died. And today someone teaches about it in school. Today things happen very, very dynamically. We don't really know what or who success will be in 3, 5, or 10 years. God, it won't be a jet and a villa in Miami anymore. Instead, it might be a fishing rod, a camper, and simply greeting the day. Out in the fresh air, right? There are trends that come and go, but I don't want to follow trends. I want to pursue some kind of truth. Up until this point in time, that's been working out quite well. And I truly think we'll continue moving forward steadily in that same direction. But technically speaking, I suspect, or rather, I'm firmly convinced, that it will be people who belong to my specific generation, both women and men alike. People between 30 and 50 years old who simply want to be happy in their professional and personal lives. Healthy and wealthy. And I believe that these things are not mutually exclusive, that we'll prove on this channel that you can have all three and still have a smile on your face. I think to a large extent it's going to be a show. With social media, every reel, every story, every video is a presentation of the real world we live in, that I live in, or that my guest lives in, if it's an interview, or a company, or an investment that... So we will definitely be putting on a show. It doesn't look like it's going to be a fund. I wouldn't want to do business together. I'd much rather the real business be the health, happiness, and wealth of the event participant or my viewer. That's what matters to me most. I think that's the dream of any speaker out there, or any thinker, to leave something behind. Some kind of movement, 1, 2, or 3 ideas that help you in a given situation. I managed to find balance, to balance financial success with personal success, without any extreme achievements here, whether financial, athletic, or in life. So that's the movement. I would like for a person who lives a normal life to award themselves a medal for that normality, so that they don't have to show off, don't have to pretend, don't have to push themselves to heart attacks, bankruptcies, or burnout, just to be simply satisfied with it. Paradoxically, I think there's no trend for that. Today, it's said in many countries that there is no middle class. Either you're very rich, wealthy, making a lot of money, you have no time, no friends, or you really have nothing and a lot of time. And it's true, you wander somewhere along the beach with a little donkey, and you pretend to be happy. I think I would like to create for us a kind of luxury, a trend for 21st century luxury, where being a citizen of the world doesn't mean you have to be a millionaire, some actor, or, some famous athlete. If I leave behind even a small sign that I belong to this group of people, and right now that's hundreds of millions of people, to this cool, thoughtful, affluent middle class, or to people who aspire to be part of it, because my whole life I've aspired to that, then that would be great.